Hey everybody, welcome back. Justin, the chef. As you can see, we are not in the camper this time. We are in beautiful Colorado Springs, about just a half hour outside of the city. And we are loving it. We're here with a group of our friends. We rented this beautiful cabin in the woods. We can see Pikes Peak from the deck and the hot tub. I'm going to make a great meal. I'm going to explain a few different things just because we're feeding a few more people than just ourselves. So we'll go over that. We are going to do a pork loin roast this time. Some nice sweet corn. We're going to grill it, and then we'll season her up. And then I got these beautiful new potatoes that I've got some thyme and garlic and butter, and we're going to roast those off. And I'll show you how to finish that up at the end. And then finally, we're going to make a beautiful beer sauce to go with our pork. So stay with us, and we're going to get cooking. All right. So to start off today's meal. We got these beautiful potatoes. They're a little bit small ones, nice little babies. I've got some chopped garlic. I've got some whole butter, some fresh thyme, and then I just seasoned it with salt and pepper. And we're going to go ahead and roast those. We're going to start at about 40 minutes at 350. We're going to shake it every so often, make sure that it gets a nice even cooking. This is an electric oven that we're working with here today at the cabin. So it tends to be a little bit slower, I find. So we're going to start with that. And then as soon as we pop these in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and get our beautiful rubbed down pork loin. And I'm going to get that grilling, get some nice marks on it, get a little char on there, and then we're going to go ahead and pop that in the oven. And that's where we're going to start with. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'll meet you back outside at the grill. Alrighty. So we've just put the potatoes in the oven to get those start roasting. Next thing I want to do is go ahead, get my nice pork roast that I rubbed. And I'll explain the rub here in just a minute. I've sprayed it with some Pam so it won't stick to the grill. I got the grill ripping hot, and we got this beautiful veal to cook out at. So the rub that I got on this pork loin here, it's got granulated onion, garlic, salt, pepper. It's got a little bit of chilies in there to give that little like almost Southwest steak style rub. You know, black pepper. It's got just a little bit of everything to make this really nice rub. I really like to let things season and sit on the meat at least for a few hours to really help grab that nice flavor. So we're going to go ahead and sear this off. I want to get some nice color on here before we throw in the oven to roast. So you want to give it a nice few minutes to get some good color on here. Like I was saying, we are at a rental, so this is not my grill. So I'm going to have to kind of judge as we cook to see where that's going to end up, as far as, you know, how much time, if there's too much heat, things like that. And that's something you always want to remember, especially when you're traveling, is everyone's stuff is just a little bit different. You know, maybe you don't have the same tongs that you use. Like, these are considerably bigger than I use at home, but it's what we have, it's what we're going to work with, and we're going to get the job done regardless. So we're looking, see, look at that nice sear mark right on there. So now I'm going to turn it. I'm going to get those diamond, beautiful cross hatches that you see in nice restaurants. This has got that good amount of heat pumping out of this. I believe this is a natural gas grill, so it's just really cooking on here. So we're getting that. I don't want to burn it. But look at that. Look at those beautiful marks that we've got. We've got some nice color. And that's really what I'm looking for. Now this specific cut of meat, I chose this. This is like a pork tender, but it's actually the back loin. You know, like where your pork chops will be connected to. Same thing here. Give this a good turn. And this is half of a loin. Now this should feed the 6 of us that are here. When you've got more people, you got to think about portions. This tends to cut out really nice into enough for at least 6 to 8 people. So that's why I chose this. Colorado is known for a lot of different meat products, lamb and buffalo, just to name a few. But if you go wildlife, you know, they got some great venison and really good elk out here. So for what we could do on this trip and what we could find, this is what I went with. So that's where we're at with this. I'm going to go ahead and get this off the grill. I'm going to pop it in the oven. And we're going to turn this down. We're going to put the corn on here, let it cook in the full husk, so it'll kind of steam it, kind of give it a grilled smoky taste. And it's going to work out really nice. So let me get this off and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so it's been a little bit of time. The potatoes and the pork loin are both roasting off. It's been about a half hour. These larger cuts, they do take some more time, so you always have to plan accordingly. What I am going to do, because I do have a little bit limited supplies, is I'm going to make my beer sauce that I was planning for this a little bit differently. Blue Moon is actually made here in Denver, along with obviously lots of other craft beers and commercial beers alike. But Blue Moon is our friend's favorites, and I thought it'd be really good with this pork. So I'm going to go ahead and put in probably about half this can into it. It'll kind of steam it, and it'll kind of work with all the juices that are coming off the pork at the moment. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the corn. We're going to put that on the grill and let that start grilling. And we're going to see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and add this right now and bring you along. So it's important to kind of get it all the way around here. So that way, you know, it can kind of get to all sides of the pork. So I'm going to do about half, and we're going to see how that is. I also put a little bit of thyme sprigs on top, just to give a little extra fragrance. And I also added a little bit more butter to the potatoes, and those are roasting along nicely as well. So, like I said earlier in the video, this oven's being electric. It's a little bit slower, so it takes a little bit more time. So patience is really the key. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to grab the corn, we're going to get on the grill, and we're going to get that going. Alrighty, back out the grill. Colorado is known for having very drastic weather changes throughout the day. So it is currently, you know, it's beautiful out behind me, it is raining. So I'm going to quickly get the corn on here. I got the grill about medium right now, right here in the middle. So it's about 400 degrees. We're going to go ahead, get these kind of roasting off in here. And I'm just going to turn them every so often, like every 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, so we got the corn in there. It's going to take roughly 20 minutes. We'll check it, turn it halfway through, make sure we don't burn it and overcook it. But it's going to be nice, it's going to steam. So just got to keep turning it every so often. Alrighty, so it's been about 45 minutes, and I have put, you know, that half can of beer in there, so it's nicely making this sauce here. So what I'm doing is every so often I'm just taking it and basting to help give it a little bit more juiciness to it, but also add that nice beer flavor that we're looking for to the pork as well. It's a nice way to really add some extra flavor, and it's really simple to do. And we're also going to give the potatoes a little shake. As you can see, looking pretty good so far, but not quite yet done. So we're going to do that. We're going to let that sit for another probably 15-20 minutes, and I will see you back on the grill to check on our corn. Alrighty, while we're cooking and everything's cooking inside, we happen to notice there's a few mule deer over here. We're butting right next to a national park. You have a doe and a fawn just over there by that pine tree. Mule deer tend to be considerably bigger than white-tailed deer, but they're pretty much the same, just the size is just a little bit different. Alrighty, so we are now almost to the end here. I just pulled out our nice potatoes. As you can tell, they're beautifully, they got a nice roast on them. You can take a knife and kind of give it a little poke. If it pulls all the way through with hardly any resistance, that's your sign that it's done. So These have gotten a nice cook on there. I got a little bit of this garlic butter I made that we're gonna put on the corn as well. But I just want to put just a little bit more butter on top of this because butter is king. So I'm gonna do that. I also chopped up this little bit of fresh thyme. As you saw earlier, I did cook it with sprigs of thyme, but now I'm just gonna add this in just to give it that nice little fresh herbage just before we eat them. And so I'm gonna stir this up here a little bit, get a nice mix, make sure we got a good enough salt content. All right, so this is nice. You can see it's got a nice amount of herbs, got a nice amount of butter on there. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna temp our pork. We're looking for that 140-ish range. Make sure that it's you know, good for everyone, but not too you know, you don't want it overcooked. So I'm going ahead, turn the light on there, you can get a little better shot. But you can see they got a nice amount of juices in there. And we're still basting this to help, you know, add more flavor, more juices on top. We are almost there. We are at 132 so far and it's still going. So that's a good sign. So we're almost there. When it hits that 140-ish range, it'll still carry over because this is a little bit bigger chunk of meat. So I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, honestly. And then we're gonna pull it, we're gonna let it rest. And then we're gonna go ahead and slice it up. I'm gonna grab the corn off the grill. And what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna husk it. I'm gonna pull the husks off. And then I'm gonna toss it with this garlic butter, the salt, the pepper, and get it all set it up so our friends can, you know, make it nice family style. So I'll see you after I grab the corn, and we're gonna finish up this meal. Alrighty, so everything is set, everything is ready, the meat has rested, we hit our temperature. The potatoes I mixed with, you know, a little butter, a little salt, a little thyme, you saw that. Corn's ready, all seasoned, done on the grill. We're gonna go ahead and make up a little pretty show plate here for everybody, and then the rest of the gang is gonna dig in. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. Actually, let's do this one. There we are. Whole corn, you could split it in half if that would be more preferable to you. So we got these nice potatoes right here. We're gonna get these down. Volume makes everything look really good. So if we could put this up a little bit here, and then it sets a spot so your meat can sit there real nice like. So I'm gonna take a couple slices here off the top, or end I should say. So if you see it's got this nice light pink hue to it, that means it's perfectly cooked, just enough where your juices are gonna still be locked in, but not so much where, you know, you don't wanna get anyone sick. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take our nice 3 slices, put them right here, just like that. I've got all the pan drippings from the pork and the beer, and it's all cooked down. I don't have anything to thicken it, so it's going to be more like a joulis, which is kind of like a cooked broth. But it's going to add a lot of flavor, a lot of seasoning to the inside of the pork because the inside won't have any. So there you have it, a nice roasted pork dish. Going to have a great day with some friends, and we're going to see you back in Tampa in just a couple weeks.